The scalar method is the third and final method of weighting assignments within StudentsAchieve. Back to our example 5, and in this case we're going to quickly show um, when you haven't added a scale value at the time when you're creating the assignment. Essentially what will happen is the system will take the total points and use it as the scale, which essentially doesn't do anything from a math perspective because they're equal. So the first thing that we are going to do is do a triple click in the column here, essentially to select all of the information that's in this scale column, and for now I'm just going to replace that with a 1. So again, a triple click with the mouse and replace with 1. Triple click with the mouse, replace as 1. So when we looked at the original example in our spreadsheet mock-up, we sort of talked about this idea of using scale values just to basically show relativity. So in this case I'm using scale values of 1, 1, 1, 2, and 4. And so in essence what I'm saying is that the first 3 assignments are all going to be equal to one another, and the 4th assignment is going to be worth twice as much as any of the first 3, and the final assignment is worth twice as much as assignment 4, or 4 times as much as the first 3 assignments. Now when I hit save, those values should change to a number and 2 decimal places, but you'll notice that the ABS column doesn't actually update. It's still showing the percents from our previous information, and that's just the way that the online software works. It doesn't force a recalculation after save, but you'll notice this recompute percentages button up here in the top. We click that and it will drive the calculation and essentially refresh the information on the page. Now based on these scale values that I entered, because the first 3 are all equal to 1, 1, and 1, you see that the absolute weight that those assignments are taking on at this point in time are all equal for the first 3 assignments. And just the way that we had talked about before, the 4th assignment is worth twice as much in terms of the percentage weight, and the 5th assignment is worth 4 times as much as the first. So we get to see this idea of relativity. So let's try another example. Let's say for instance that we want to think about the scale values as being out of 100. So perhaps the first assignment is going to take on 20% of the unit. The second assignment is going to take on 20% as well. The third assignment is going to take 30% of the unit, and so at this point we're up to a total of 70. So we'll use 10 on the 4th assignment and the final 20 points on the 5th assignment. So the other way to think about the scale value is essentially using the base of 100 and spreading those 100 points across the various assignments in the folder. And so when I press save here and recalculate, you'll notice the absolute value updates accordingly. And it's interesting, and I didn't do this on purpose, but you'll notice that because I set the scale value equal to the total points for the first and the third assignments, we see this the scale value sort of get placed into parentheses, and that's okay as long as that that scale is meaningful to what it is that you want to do. If we sort of reduce the scale value on this first one to 10 and up this third one to 40, because the scale value and the total points value are now going to be different, you should see those scale values go back to a regular decimal place. So because this is a single unit within this particular course, you see that the scale values here and the absolutes are equal. But if we had a second unit, for instance, in the course, and the two units were of equal weight, then essentially we would see these absolute values drop by half. So that's the scalar method. For instance, it gives us great flexibility because we can allow the test scores to be out of whatever it is that we want. And for instance, if we wanted to show how these assignments are all equal, then we can essentially just replace the scale values all with ones. And again, because the weight is determined by the scale value of any one assignment divided by the total scale points within the column, the math becomes 1 over 5 or 20%. So it's really a great way to flexibly adjust the weight that any given assignment is going to have. And again, you can think about it in terms of relativity, 1s, 2s, 5s, 10s, or you can take 100 points and split them amongst the assignments in the folder. And the third way that you could do it is if this particular unit was worth 14%, let's say, then we could say that assignments 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all worth 1, and we could say that the final assignment is worth 10. And so we can essentially spread scale points, thinking about them in terms of percentage points. And when we have a course that has multiple folders that's weighted out of 100, the scale value here essentially will become a single 1% of the overall course when all the marks are in. So scale is a very flexible way to go and can allow you to really get fine-tune adjustment on how much any particular assignment is weighted within your overall course marks.